I'd like to spend the beginning of this video talking about Ace Attorney Amino, a community and chat platform dedicated to Ace Attorney. There you can meet new friends, express yourself, and share your opinion in a safe and welcoming environment. Chat with other players, discover new tips, get the latest news and updates, share your creations and ideas. And you can find me there under the username KarateChopsticks. You can join one of the many funny, silly, or serious chat rooms available. It is available for both Android and iOS. Look below in the description for the link to download. What's up, spectators? Welcome back to an episode of Ace Attorney 6, where the trial has begun and we must defend Maya on the charges of murder. The seance is already finished. Well, the seance, yeah, it was very incriminating. The accused committed this vile act during our ancient tradition, the purification rite. Come to think of it, the Rites Guide explains the multi-part purification rite in detail. The transformation rite. The high priest reads scripture while a priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira. The rite of water. Lady Kira enters the spring and the high priest purifies her along with her dagger. The rite of fire. The priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. Indeed. It would seem that the murder occurred during the transformation rite. The rite dictates that the high priest stand in front of the spring. Therefore, the accused must have attacked him from the direction of the broken lantern. Well, Barbed Head? Would you care to object? Of course, because I know my client is innocent. So you say, you truly do not know when you are beaten, do you? I managed to pull it off last time with Albi. I'll just have to do it again. You intend to find fault with her benevolence's insights yet again. It would seem lawyers are Polkunin creatures indeed. Look at that Polkunin! What exactly is a Polkunin? Someone who's a real piece of work, so to speak. They can call me anything they want. The only thing I care about is uncovering the truth. So, Barbed Head, are you foolish enough to risk your life for your so-called truth? Because my insights are the truth. To deny them is willingly digging your own grave. Rafa's insight. The victim commenced the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra. Okay? As the first part, the transformation rite ended, he lowered the sutra suddenly. Okay? He heard the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. As his life's blood spilled over, his vision dimmed till finally he passed from our world. That is everything the victim experienced in his final moments. Shows where Maya and the high priest were during the rite. Dressed in the sacred robes of Lady Kira, the accused rushed the victim head-on. The brutal stabbing she perpetrated could not have been any clearer. Yes, it is plain for all to see. No, it wasn't me. A sudden drowsiness came over me during the transformation rite. I didn't even get a chance to put on Lady Kira's robes. You waste our time with such meaningless statements, accused. You cannot explain away the truths revealed by the royal priestess's divine insight. How did you end up finding contradictions last time? The deceased's final memories include all 5 senses. You mean those words that appeared in the pool of souls? It looked to me like the bigger the word, the stronger the sensation was to the victim. That's how it looked to me, too. Tammy, what do you want? Come on. Nope, nope, nope. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Boo, 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 boo. The sensations themselves are never wrong, only their interpretations. That's why I tried to point out mistakes in Rafa's insights the last time. So there could be contradictions between what Abbot Inmee felt and her insights. You got it. And I'm gonna find them this time too. Should I check how to point out contradictions in Rafa's insights? I'm okay. I remember how it works. Still, the sensations this time seem to fluctuate more than the ones from Albi's trial. In which case, I better keep an eye on changes in their intensity too. Time to point out the sensations that contradict the insights. Okay, 1 lantern, 2nd lantern. Lowered the sutra. Wind. Hold on. Wind. Incense footsteps. Interesting. Okay. Let's go back to the beginning. Victim commenced the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns. Okay. As the first part, the transformation rite ended, he lowered the sutra. He heard the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. Uh-huh. It must be this statement. Hold on, hold on. He heard the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. How do you back it up a little? Can you not? Okay, that's a bit of a pain. Oh, yes you can. It's right here. Alright, I think the best option I have is one of these. Hold on. But what's wrong, though? Oh god, this is hard.
Objection!
What could it have been? I'm gonna really need to hope he gives a decent hint. Otherwise, it's gonna be really hard for me to figure out what that's supposed to be. When the words change size, the intensity of those sensations changing, yes. Yeah. Oh! That's interesting. Okay, hold on. Because the incense does change size, but the footsteps do not. Wait for it.
Objection!
The victim supposedly heard the accused approaching footsteps. But did he really? What nonsense is this? Is it not abundantly clear? No, it's not. Because there's something strange about those footsteps. Explain yourself, barbed head. The footsteps are strange because they don't get louder. And why exactly does that matter? I had ice in my mouth. Please focus your attention on the incense the victim smelled. The scent grows stronger as the accused approaches. If the accused really hadn't approached the victim, the sound of her footsteps would have grown louder as the scent of incense grew stronger. Why, that makes perfect sense. How can this be explained, your benevolence? There must be a reason.
Objection!
It is as they say. Even a putrid worm of a lawyer will turn. What does that even mean? He's not exactly singing your praises, that's for sure. Still, we cannot discount this information solely on account of its lawyerly source. Your benevolence. Perhaps you must listen more carefully to the abbot's mitama. What's he talking about? Yes, it would appear so. I shall try to refine the sensation. I can more accurately gauge sensations by deepening my communication with the mitama. I didn't know you could do that. Why have we never done this before? By refining a sensation, a clearer picture of the truth can be discovered. Oh, blessed mitama, I beseech you, hear me now and respond to my call. Footsteps changed into bells. What could this mean? But the only bells at the scene of the crime were... That jingling must have come from Abbot Inmee's bells. You mean those big things he had on his ankles? Well, there you have it. The sound of bells was from the High Priest's own footsteps. Then that means... If the footsteps belonged to the victim himself, it means it was the victim who was moving, not the accused. The victim was the one who went running toward the broken lantern from the spring. A far cry from what her benevolence's insight would have us believe. But why would the victim have approached the accused? Maybe he was trying to defend himself. Please explain. He could have felt threatened by Lady Kira standing there with the dagger. If so, he might have thought to overpower her before she attacked. Still your voices, this is nothing but a theory, and a poor one at that. Be not led astray by this lawyer's obvious postulation.
Objection!
While his insolence is inexcusable, I would ask that you calm yourself, your benevolence. Is there something you'd care to say, Prosecutor Sadmati? Even if it was Abbot Inmee who moved, it does not negate the accused's crime. What do you mean? The accused was likely waiting for the High Priest to approach. And as he neared, she plunged a dagger into him. It is as simple as that. Oh, right. It really doesn't change much, does it? It is as the prosecutor has said. In fact, it is as I meant to say all along as well. Right, and that's why you were so shocked when you first heard it. Understand now, lawyer. That contradiction you conjured up has come to naught. Once I hone my insights, it'll vanish like the dying rays of the sun. The victim He rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the broken lantern. See? The fact that it was Abbot Inmee who moved changes nothing. Gotta keep you cool. That contradiction I pointed out must mean something. That one sensation changed after Princess Rafa refined her vision. It stands to reason that something else might have changed too because of the refinement. I should focus on any sensations that have changed, while searching for more contradictions between them and her insights. Interesting. Hold on, back up. Okay. Go back to the fifth one. Come. Fifth one. I'm clicking. Ah!
Objection!
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Doesn't make sense. Because he was dry, then wet, so... But he was facing the... Okay. Sure, video game. Incense bells, water... That's like the only thing that's changed. I'm gonna select it again. With a different statement. Oh my god. Fuck you, video game. Hold it, I guess. How do we know the purification rite was performed exactly as it was supposed to be? That's easy. The customs governing the rite are very clear, and Abbot Inmee would have adhered to them. Well, that's strange. Would you care to explain just what is so strange? I would ask you to consider the sound of the victim's footsteps. The sound of bells changes to the sound of water at one point. What's this? It's simple. The victim must have stepped in some water. And the only source of water in the inner sanctum is the spring. And therein lies the contradiction. What contradiction? I believe the rite started out as it should have. The victim stood with his back to the spring and the accused stood right in front of him. But we now know that the victim then moved into the spring. That is absurd. This means the accused's location differs from what her benevolence's insight indicates. Then where do you propose the accused stood when she donned Lady Kira's robes? Based on the sound of the victim's footsteps, I believe Maya was standing here. Boop, 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 boop. Do you really believe the accused was standing there? What? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm sorry I'm swearing, but I'm just getting very frustrated. try this again.
Take that!
Unbelievable. Until this moment, we've all just assumed that Abbott, Inmee, and Miss Faye were standing where they were supposed to be, as shown in this rights guide. In short, the victim should have been standing with his back to the spring, and the accused in front. However, if that's how they were really standing, he couldn't have stepped into the spring as he approached her. The problem is, the victim did step into the spring. This can only mean that Miss Faye had actually been standing in the water. But if this is true, then their positions would have been completely reversed. What is going on here, Miss Faye? Were you really standing in the spring? I'm sorry, but I barely remember anything about the rite. The High Priest would never make such an obvious blunder during a rite. What on earth?
That's enough!
Be that as it may, this does not overturn my insights. It doesn't? Let us say the accused was standing in the spring. So what? This completely reverses their positions is what? That their positions differed from what is customary is rather curious. However, what does that change? It certainly does not erase the accused's brutal crime. I guess you have a point there. You lawyers are an absurd breed. Never thinking ahead, you cling to the first insignificant contradiction you can muster. Sounds like Princess Rafa has a pretty good grasp on what lawyers are all about. Oh, Maya, where would I be without your brutally frank commentary right now? Is this contradiction really meaningless? But something really doesn't feel right. Did I take a wrong turn somewhere? I'll now amend my insight to account for this new truth. Now the contradiction is no more. But the truth of the matter still stands, no matter how stubbornly you deny it. What do you have to say for yourself now, Mr. Wright? Nick. Your Majesty, this lawyer may have raised a trivial objection. But her benevolence's insights have no further inadequacies of any kind. Yeah, so it would seem. Wait a second, but there is another contradiction. Still you flounder about, wretched beast. Though you rack that putrid brain of yours, nothing worthwhile will come of it. Maya, please tell me you remember something that might help us out here. I really don't remember a thing. But now that the place I was standing in has changed, who knows? That alone may cause a new discrepancy with Princess Rafa's insights. We now know that Maya was standing in the spring. A major change like that could very well produce a contradiction. I should take another look at the inner sanctum diagram in the court record, and confirm where Maya and Abbott Inmee were standing, and then focus on finding any discrepancies between their positions and insights. Let's look at the diagram. Oh. Okay. Lantern, lantern, curtain, curtain. Okay. Then he gets the sutra. Skip ahead. Ah, okay. Wait for it. Got it!
Objection!
Okay, it was with the wrong statement. All right then. La 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 la, yes. Everyone take a break while I skip through this stuff. Okay, Here we go. And present.
Objection!
Why? Because the ones by the spring had perfectly fine wind guards. Your benevolence, I found a new contradiction. You did? No doubt it is but another of your vile attempts to slander my insights. Nope. Take a good look at what the victim saw. It just might change your mind. The lantern flame behind the accused was flickering. There's nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind had stirred. No, that's where you're wrong. If the accused had been standing in the spring, then what you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue. I fail to see your point. My point is, something's wrong here. The two lanterns flanking the statue were both outfitted with glass wind guards. So neither lantern's flame should have been flickering in the wind in the first place. She seems pretty tickled, Nick. I don't remember saying anything funny. I failed to see what you wish to prove here, but... very well. I shall refine the vision and reveal the truth for all to see. Oh, blessed Mitama, I beseech you. Fix your sight upon the lantern there. That lantern doesn't have a wind guard on it. And rightly so. For the wind guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within for the rite of fire. Therefore, there is nothing odd about the flame flickering. Say what? But when we searched the crime scene, those lanterns had their wind guards on. That's because the police put them back on. The sacred flames have burned uninterrupted for hundreds of years, Defense. We cannot risk them being extinguished, even during an investigation. That would never fly back home. Well, Barb Ted, are you done quibbling? If so, then it is time to bow down before this testimony of the Mitama. Nick. Don't worry, Maya. Just getting started. Let's go over everything we know so far. Maya was wearing Lady Kira's robes and standing in the spring. The High Priestess thought to have been moving towards her, so I should look for sensations that stand in contradiction to this arrangement. I won't give up. I'm gonna find a contradiction that'll undermine the accusation against Maya. Okay. Oh, hold on, back it up. Lantern. Lantern. Ah, I see. Na-na-na-na-na. Let's see. Alright, let's try and go back to actually one of the earlier ones. There.
Objection!
Because it's broken. What could this possibly mean? That lantern clearly contradicts the insight, but this contradiction will overturn the entire case I've been building. Are you alright, Mr. Wright? One minute you shout out, and the next you fall silent. Perhaps it is like the bellows of one who is barreling down a hill with no way of stopping. Is that not right, Prosecutor Satmari? Don't get cold feet now, Phoenix. Even if this overturns the entire case you've built so far, the only way is to keep moving forward, because that's where we'll find the truth. And I'm actually going to end this video here, so stay tuned for the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!